Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome, all my friends, to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. the Black Magnate. Across from me is my co-captain for this flight. His name is Philip Collins. Rest assured, he's an easy lover. How are you this evening, Captain?
Captain Black, my man.
My man!
What is going on, friend?
You know, just chilling out, jiving.
Jump jiving.
Talking jive.
Man, we got a flight today.
You know, we got a flight every Monday.
Yeah, and, you know, we're in May now, and so the sun is out later, so we are able to watch the beautiful sunsets every time we take off, and that...
We got the best view in the world.
You're damn right we do.
Best view in the world, my friend.
So I'm pumped. I'm as happy as Dora the Explorer.
How happy was that little Mexican girl?
Oh, just like every little Mexican child, just happy to be alive.
Ears pierced at 3 weeks old.
And wearing some little necklace that's so tight it looks like it's cutting off the circulation around their neck. What is that?
What? Did Dora have pierced ears?
I don't know.
Why do they have the ears pierced so young?
Because they don't want to listen to them whine and bitch when they get older. It's kind of like a dog when you cut their tail off. You do it when they're real little and they don't have the nerve endings yet. Like my dog,
yeah.
I have one picture of her when she had her tail when she was like the day she was born.
Why cut it off though?
Because that breed is a working breed, so they don't have a tail. So, and then the next picture I have is of her with no tail because they tie it off and tighten it until it falls off because it doesn't hurt them because they don't have the nerve endings there yet.
I'd like to have Howie Mandel host a show called Tail or No Tail.
It's the front picture of a dog. Just a face.
It's just a bunch of briefcases full of tails.
And you got to match the tail with the dog. Or
why do that though? Because what does that mean? It's a working dog. What does that even mean? I don't understand pets. I have a toad, and I think it's dead half the time, but it never is.
You're like, oh, this morning.
Damn.
I hope it's dead. I'm tired of dumping these fruit flies in here.
Hey, they're flightless. What? No, I want an answer though. Why do you take the tail off?
I don't know. By the end of the show, I will let you know.
It's just a thing that is done.
Exactly, but no, you don't know what a working dog is.
Keeping up with the dog Joneses. No, I don't. What is like? I mean, what it goes and fetches quail carcasses.
Well, some dogs are like toy dogs.
Like Paris Hilton has got a dog that fits in her front pocket.
Right, that's not a working dog.
No,
but like a German Shepherd is a working dog. It's like a canine.
What does it do for a living?
They are cops. They go in the military. Like
they go in the military.
Dog. Oh yeah, they have. Boxers were in the military too.
Look, I've seen K911. Okay, that's about the extent of my knowledge.
But no, that's a working dog. They have a job to do.
So what does your dog do that has to have? So every time I'm over here, you put it in the cage so it doesn't lick me while I'm trying to podcast.
I don't know. Mine doesn't. All mine does is get on my nerves.
That dog is tail free and needs to be put to work.
Do you want to know why their tails get cut off?
You know what? Let me tell you why you're looking that up. One time, and I may have told this story before. If I have, I apologize. But I was waiting for someone at Lowe's to like get some lumber down or something. So I was casually flipping through all these books. They have a big section of how-to books, and one of them was like, "Hey, you need to castrate a goat." And my answer to that is no. But I happened to turn to the exact page where they have, like you said, a rubber band, but it's around the goat's nutsack. And God damn it, if it wasn't the boldest blue nutsack I'd ever seen, because they're about ready to chop that mother off. But why do that to a dog's tail?
Tail docking of dogs is believed to have arisen for three reasons at different points in history. In ancient times, Romans believed that amputation of the tail tip and or parts of the dog's tongue could prevent the dog from contracting rabies. All right. Because the tail is believed to help a dog in a chase, dogs are historically docked if they are owned by a poor person not permitted to hunt game.
So these are based on years or thousands of years of rules that don't necessarily apply to today.
Right, and then there is a continuous tradition of docking working dogs' tails with the goal of preventing tail injuries during activities such as hunting.
Unless it's some sort of unholy...
I was right. Can you stop and just say...
First of all, congratulations on being right.
It never happens.
I've never seen you right before, and what a powerful time to be right. Second of all...
I save it for the big events.
No. Remember that time I knew why dogs got part of their tail cut off?
So in your face.
Up your butt.
Dock that, bitch.
We take animals and we crossbreed and we create these unholy abominations. But, if Darwin has taught us anything, it's that nature knows what it's doing. I think Jeff Goldblum said the same thing in Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way. Isn't nature? Aren't their tails there for a reason? Maybe it's to help them while they're running, to use as a little bit of like a rudder or something. Sure. Isn't there a natural reason they're there? And we're just saying, it's poor people. Cut it off.
Right. Well, if you're hunting, let's say you're a dog.
Okay.
And you're hunting beaver.
You know what? As a human being, I'm a hunting beaver, my friend.
That's why I use that analogy, because either way you could associate. If you're hunting beaver and you are in the woods and you don't want the beaver to come up behind you and bite your tail, because then you're hurt. If you don't have a tail, you can tap that beaver.
I see what you did there.
I really grabbed for it, didn't I? I was like,
You went out there, you reached. It's okay. We all do it.
Swing and a miss.
I guess you don't want the beaver sneaking up behind you and doing that. It seems.
Hey, and the ancient Greeks thought that it would keep them from getting rabies, so they also fucked each other when they were guys. So,
hey, can't argue with that.
Good on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Okay, before we go any further, I'm just going to do one little thing real quick. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third season in the 1990s.
Third season of Couch Pilots.
That's right. As all of our frequent flyers know, we watch television pilots from the past. You're listening to Couch Pilots, so there's no accident you're here. You probably know Blake or myself personally. Maybe someone told you about our embarrassing exploits, or maybe you're just some weirdo who genuinely is interested in watching TV shows that never made it. Because that's what we do here. We watch TV pilots that made one and only one episode and were never to be heard from again, and then we tell you, our frequent flyers, all about them.
And when we had this show in development,
for years,
how we thought this is going to be a cool idea. Everybody's going to want to listen.
Everyone will flock to the to the podcast on the huge podcasting network that has that talks about one-off television programs. That's right.
Yeah, our idea is great.
Yeah, our execution's great.
Our execution is great.
Our promotion, not so great.
I guess it would be the heartbeat of it. Because our frequent flyers are the heartbeat.
They're the reason I get out of bed in the morning, for sure.
Yeah, I wake up, I go, fuck life, I hate it.
Yep.
And then I go, wait a minute. What about the frequent flyers?
Do you want them to refresh their podcasting queue on Monday and not see our show pop up?
Oh, they would flip out. Donald Trump would be president.
Right. If we fail to do a show between now and the presidential elections, Donald Trump will become president of these United States of America.
And nobody wants that.
Not necessarily me, no.
But before we get into the show and everything, but I don't mean to break your rhythm, but really, if you listen to this show, please share a link on your Facebook, tell friends, really, on Instagram, take a picture of one of our show arts that I spend a lot of time doing.
Yeah.
But just get it out there for us and put people into that link, because we're going to do this anyway.
Yeah, we're going to do it whether you tell people or not. We may as well get the biggest following we can. I mean, what do you have? The show's free.
Right.
I'm very funny. Blake is here. We watch television pilots that are ridiculous, and that it's almost like a kind of like a hipster ironic thing that we're doing. But we're not
hipsters.
But you and I can't wear skinny pants.
Oh no. Not at all.
Not without shame.
Oh, I have
a lot of shame.
I have shame when I wear. Funny story, real quick. Again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
please.
I got 2 pairs of sweatpants at Kohl's right before we joined the gym.
Pretty good brag.
Because I could wear them, at the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to wear them all the time, and I want to wear them in public, and Molly will not let me wear them in public. I'm like, come on!
I had this conversation yesterday with my daughter because I took her on a shopping spree for her birthday, and she bought a couple pair of sweatpants she really liked, these kind of fashionable ones out of Old Navy. And she was about to wear them yesterday. We were going to the Children's Museum in Bloomington. And she goes, hey, why don't you get some sweatpants on? It's like, because I have to look presentable.
Right,
I have to look like an adult who hasn't totally given up on everything.
I can't look like your really older brother or like your Boys and Girls Club like sponsor.
Right. I have to wear blue jeans, American Eagle blue jeans. First of all, got them at a garage sale for $2.
Nice.
Not a bad deal. And
did you have to try them on? Or do you just know, like each brand, the size you wear at each brand?
I don't know the size I wear for each brand.
You figure $2.
Yeah, exactly. Like recently, I bought. I think maybe you and I have even talked about this before. Like retrofitting cool old headphones with modern technology. I just recently got a pair of old headphones. They're really cool ones from like the 70s. They're again $2 at a garage sale. What do I have to lose if they don't work? Right?
It's true.
$2. Who cares? Who cares?
Make it rain.
I've got $2 to spend on anything.
You walk into that garage sale, right? You walk onto that driveway, and you're like,
you know what?
I'm like Nelly at a fucking strip club, man.
I was wearing sweatpants at the garage sale. It was on the way to the gym. I was wearing sweatpants at that garage sale.
All right, man.
Oh, Christ.
Well, so,
but we digress.
I'm sorry. I really threw you off. I apologize.
No, that's all right.
I just love our banter, and so I kind of extend it, and then I throw you off, and then you just keep glaring at me.
No, you always act like I'm super pissed at you. I can't remember the last time I was angry at you.
Really?
No, I know exactly when it was.
When was it?
About 30 seconds ago. You said some stupid shit, and I was just like, what the hell? This I guess would be our 21st episode, right? Or 22nd, because we did 11 episodes the first season, including our pilot episode, which wasn't necessarily about a show at all. But we did 10 episodes from pilots from the 70s. We did 10 episodes from pilots of the 80s, and now we're about to do 10 for the 90s, and this is the
22.
first one of that. What's that?
This would be 22. No, 21. You're right. Yeah, 21.
Actually, I got it right here.
I thought it was really creative.
It's 22.
I thought it was really creative that I do our show by seasons and just kind of throwing off our numbers.
Yeah, you're real creative, and everyone loves you. And what you add to the show is incalculable.
But we really do recommend that everybody go back and listen to the pilot episode. Just like we watch pilot episodes, Go back to, if you've never listened to the pilot episode of Couch Pilots, it was a hootenanny.
It really sets the tone, for better or worse.
We explain it because there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna, if you're just joining us,
right,
you're not gonna pick up on right away.
They'll take you a few,
but just do the first few episodes and
we lay it all on the line for you.
Yep.
We don't screw around.
We do now.
Oh, absolutely. We said let's not screw around for this one episode, and hopefully we do get a couple hundred under our belt, and we'll just screw around on all those.
Right.
Today we watched the musical comedy Unsold pilot made by CBS in 1990, Shangri-La Plaza.
Yes, we did, Jason.
Why are you singing? What does that have to do with anything?
The Shangri-La Plaza was a musical.
It really, really was.
And I'm going to sing throughout this episode.
Oh, Lord. I was not told that before. 1990. Oh, Lord, 1990. The year that gave us such gems as Ghost, Home Alone, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is that the one with Vanilla Ice?
No, that was 2. Where he did the ninja rap. Go, ninja, go, ninja, go.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't ever have to apologize when it comes to Rob Van Winkle. The demolition of the Berlin Wall begins. The Simpsons began its legendary run on Fox, and the first case of AIDS is tracked back to 1959, probably to some gay chimp or something.
Right, exactly. Gay chimps what started it all. I remember the Simpsons when they were on the Tracy Ullman show. They were just like minute and a half little episodes.
Yep, and they were real crappily drawn.
Oh, they were horribly drawn.
Yeah.
But Tracy Ullman,
What does that mean?
Back in the day, I used to have the hots for her. I think
really?
it was the accent. She was not it was like Cyndi Lauper. She wasn't attractive, but she just had that.
She was so unusual. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I think I like Cyndi Lauper a little bit better. Wasn't there something we talked about where she got pooped in the mouth by a bird?
Yeah, when she was singing.
Gross.
How lucky can you get? Supposedly that brings you luck if you get shit in the mouth by a bird.
I thought it was just shit on it all. But, I mean, in your mouth, it's got to be like... hitting the bullseye.
Right.
It's like shooting that hole in the Death Star, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So 1990. How old were you in 1990, Philip?
God, I hate doing math.
I know it's the worst. That's why I always.
You've never asked me this question.
First of all, so you're not prepared for this at all.
I had my driver's permit. I was 15 years old.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Did you ever get in an accident while you had your driver's permit?
Not while I had my permit.
I did.
Oh, nice. My brother got in a major car accident, and I was in the car. He had his license for less than a week, and he totaled his 78 Camaro.
My sister totaled her two first cars within like 6 months of each other, and one of them she almost died. Like she flipped and had to be pulled out.
I was in the hospital with the one with my brother.
Jeez! First of all, they drill your eyeball clean because you get metal stuck into it. Your imaginary friend Choo Choo Fireman leaves you during that process, and then you get flipped over in a car with your brother.
Yes, and I was also, I think it was probably the year before that, I had to go to the hospital because I cut my lip with a sweater defuzzer, and it would not stop bleeding.
What is a sweater defuzzer?
It was a little handheld thing, and you would click, you would turn it on and go, and you would just take it.
Like you're shaving your shirt?
Yeah, your sweater, you get all the little fuzz balls off. Well, I was joking around and act like I was shaving with it, and I nicked my lip.
Pretty funny.
And it wouldn't stop bleeding. To this day, my mom reminds me about that.
So what do they do? They stitch your lip?
No, they just put some of that, like...
Super glue?
No, when you nick yourself with a razor, they used to have that stick. What is... not iodine stick, but it was some kind of stick that was supposed to make it stop bleeding.
An EpiPen?
Yeah, that's what it was. They put a big Band-Aid on it.
Wow. I want to see one of these now. I want to see a sweater defuzzer.
Okay.
Yeah, just say the word, and you will make it appear. Yeah. I was 9 years old. Actually, I was just kind of on autopilot talking to you that whole time when I was furiously doing math, trying to decipher how old I was.
Sure, but you don't have to... Once you hear mine, you just subtract 6.
But for me, that's a big part of the battle.
That's true.
And a lot of times people are like, hey... I can't wait to get to the 1990s. You watch that first episode of ER. That was my favorite show. You know what I love in the 90s? I love to get my hands on some of that Friends. I want to see you guys talk about... No, we're not doing that.
No.
We're not going to do that.
We don't care about those.
No.
Those don't meet the criteria.
And what would those be?
First, it had to be a pilot that failed and never made it to series. It had to be readily available. And it had to be free.
Yeah.
And those are the three things.
That's it.
I let you drink. I didn't even stop. I know that's why you did that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I listened to back one of our episodes where I was taking a sip in between, and this is maybe a little bit too meta for this program, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was funny. Here's a picture of the sweater defuzzer that I cut my lip with.
This will be something. This will be a treat for the fans. Boy, that looks like a space age. Like, how sometimes you look back at the 1950s and they look like, oh, this looks like it's from outer space.
Right.
It looks like a 1950s futuristic outer space hairdryer, or
well, it was about the size of like an inhaler. It was about the size of an inhaler, but it had like a little metal screen that had little holes that had huge sharp blades behind those, and when your lip went back there,
it almost looks like the sprayer nozzle on your sink. Like if it was bloated.
And then it would go into the little compartment, and then when the compartment was full, you empty it out.
Now that looks like a pencil sharpener to me.
They also called it a lip sharpener.
Ouch. So you guys are probably like, the only reason I tune into this show is so I can find out where this is, and then I delete your show forever. Tell me where to find this. Fine. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in the show notes.
Follow the blue links. Just follow the blue links. They are safe to click on.
You weren't kidding. You weren't kidding about singing. And already, your singing is better than anything on the show. At points of the show, it's just singing dialogue. It's just It's just not even like, well, let's this is going to be on broadcast. Millions of people are going to see this. Let's sit down and write some songs. We're like, no, we'll just write a show, and then you just sing the words.
It's like they wrote the theme song, and then they wrote like the first song and a half, or they wrote 2 songs for this, and they're like, it's not really a musical. We just have 2 songs.
This is harder than I thought.
Let's just go ahead and sing everything that we're gonna say.
Our blue links, first of all, that's the way to go. Click on the blue links. You can trust them. They're there for you. They'll wrap you in their blue embrace. But if you're weird, if you don't want to do that, if you're a little scared by your blue links, you can also go to YouTube and watch Shangri-La Plaza in 3 hot parts. Actually, you know what? I don't watch that's available in 3 parts, but you can also watch it in 1.
I watched it in 1.
I don't know if it's something that I found later or what, but at one time it was 3 hot parts. But you can see it in 1.
3 hot parts.
What are your 3 hottest parts?
I would say first my eyes.
Right.
I have really hot looking, beautiful eyes.
Is that 1 and 2, or is it they act as a team?
That's 1.
A 1 unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I would have to say my penis is 2.
Number 2, hot part.
Hot part number 2. And then I would say my virgin butthole.
Your VB. Okay. Hot parts.
How about you?
The same.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
The exact same.
Mine or your
My 3 hot parts
are
on your body.
Look at that. Look at that sunset. That's amazing.
Oh boy, up in the air. A couple weeks ago we had the daylight savings time began or end. I can't keep track of it. Nor do I care, as long as I get to be up in the sky with the sun shining brightly, setting over the clouds. It almost looks like it's setting directly into the Pacific Ocean.
It seems to me that rapper Bob was right. I think the world is flat.
Is it Bob or B.O.B.?
Well, it's B.O.B., but come on, copyright infringement there.
B.O.B.
B.O.B.?
B.O.B.
Mr. B.O.B.?
Obi-Wan B.O.B. Summary of the pilot. Shut up and listen to me. Go ahead. You got something?
No.
Macho Ira and Sensitive George, which, by the way, I have no idea that's what their names were. Did you watch that and be like, yeah, I know that's their names? Did you get that from it?
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know everybody's name on this show.
I know Jenny, and then that's about it. And then
Jenny? No. I knew it was Ira and George.
Well, they are
It's
two...
actually Georgie.
Jorge? They call him Georgie?
Georgie.
They are 2 polar opposite brothers who own an auto repair shop in Southern California. Both men quickly fall for Amy. I thought her name was Jenny. Oh,
no, Jenny was the little girl.
Right, okay.
Jenny was the girl. The little blonde girl.
Jenny and the Jets.
Jenny and her hot mom.
She was not hot.
Jenny's mom is hot.
Okay.
Shut your mouth.
According to the summary, she's a beautiful widow who has inherited the local donut shop previously owned by her no-good estranged husband.
Who was like 20 years older than her?
I made a note of that too, for sure.
Yeah. And there's no possible way that those two would have got together in any possible way. He was like an old Mexican guy with like Burt Reynolds like porn stash.
Yeah.
And she was a hot young 20-something-year-old girl.
Recently deceased. No respect for the dead.
Nope. Just walking in. Hey, this is my place now.
I will go ahead and say before we start this, this next segment is my favorite. This is the one that I come here for every week. Sometimes I hear about these shows. I know what our program's about. Reviews aside, whatever. I want to know the truth. What is the truth behind some of these things? What are the facts?
Sure.
This segment is called Interesting Facts.
Yeah, and it's very important that if this is the first time you listen, these are interesting facts, but it's not for us to say they're interesting. We're going to provide these facts to you because they're important to know.
Yeah, a little backstory.
They're interesting.
Yep.
But again, we can't tell you they're interesting. We can only...
That's just the name of the segment.
Yeah, it's the only adjective that we can come up with to put before facts.
They always say, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. Meaning, don't look at someone and judge someone. To me, that's a bullshit phrase because everyone judges other people based on their appearance. And honestly, I think it's a good thing. We have to judge things based on their appearance. I always say to my daughter, hey, you're walking down the street. On one side of the street, you see a bunch of street toughs wearing leather and chains. On the other side of the street, you see some businessmen wearing suits. What side of the street you going to walk down?
Thugs.
Okay, now see, I was going to go. Why is that? Why
I don't trust older men with briefcases.
Well, who hurt you?
I was molested as a child. You just don't want to talk about it. It's happened.
Nothing funny about that. Anyway, the point of Blake's molestation is that we're going to tell you these facts, and you are going to judge them instantly,
Sure.
whether you know it or not, whether you think about it aloud or not. But we aren't going, and I judge them too.
Right.
I'm going to read them out, and I'm going to think, wow, that's a great fact, or I don't know about that fact, but I'm not going to tell you what I think.
You can't say it out loud. You can't verbally communicate that. And to me, this part's kind of like the behind the music,
right?
Like behind the pilot.
Yeah, we're breaking the fourth wall. We're pulling the curtain back, saying, you know what? This is just a show. It's not real. Here's some truths that you maybe not be privy to, but we're going to privy you right now.
We probably should be under documentary on iTunes.
They're emotional distress because of your molestation. I think if you really break down what we talk about in the show, it's such a cornucopia of different topics that we can land anywhere on the spectrum.
Yep.
Of the iTunes categories.
If people would just subscribe.
Yeah, that's all it takes is the more subscriptions we get, the more categories we can be put under. Half-hour musical set in Southern California mini mall. Article in Los Angeles Times documented this novel location. The theme song, Shangri-La Plaza, is sung by all 9 credited cast members. However, only 7 of them appear in the actual episode that follows. Only 1 episode was ever produced.
Sure.
Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
How embarrassing. The show had hoped to be picked up for the 1990-1991 fall season on CBS, but did not pick up for a series run. The pilot aired once in the summer of 1990 as part of CBS's Monday comedy lineup. And you know what that means in the summer, right?
Just dump. It's
It
a
means
dump.
Poodoo. Was one of 3 shows in the 1990-1991 TV season that had a musical theme in its series. Cop Rock and Hull High were the other 2. However, this did not make it past pilot phase. Now, have you heard of Cop Rock?
No, I have not, but I'm wondering, did either one of those 2 go to series?
I think Cop Rock is a notoriously ridiculous. It is police officers singing while doing police work. It is ridiculous, and I think that did go for a few seasons. I do not know anything about Hull High, so that is one to look into. But wow, 3 musicals all at once.
It's weird. It must have been a craze at the time.
It must have been.
Broadway was...
I'm going to hit pause real quick on interesting facts.
Okay.
And just say, I can't think of other shows like this except for Glee, where there's a lot of singing in Glee. Did you ever watch that show?
Molly watched it for a little bit.
Did you ever see an
I
episode?
watched a few episodes, but...
I've seen
I started to like
snippets.
Boys, so I quit.
I'm sorry?
I started to like Boys, so I quit watching it.
So the show Glee was converting you to homosexuality,
Yes.
or at least a bi-curiosity?
Yeah. It made me want to sit in a wheelchair and run around.
Yeah, I think Glee, the reason they had to stop showing it is because it was converting people into it's becoming cripples.
Paraplegics.
Wow. I saw snippets of Glee. I never was like, oh yeah, I have to watch this. It looked like shit to me.
Yeah.
I like theater. I like musical theater. But it is something very artificial about it on TV. It just seems ridiculous.
Right. I mean, we've seen a few Broadway plays come through, traveling productions.
Yeah.
We've seen Jersey Boys. We saw the ABBA one, Mamma Mia.
Right.
We saw the Green Day one.
I saw it too. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I like Green Day, but I did not like that show.
And we saw another one about 80s hair band thing. I don't remember the name of it.
But they made a movie out of that one, right? With Tom Cruise?
Right, but if you go to it and you watch a musical, you're like, yes, this is interesting.
There's something very alive and electric in there, and you get caught up in the emotion.
Sure, exactly.
But on TV, they don't.
No,
it doesn't work there.
No. It's like animated porn.
It doesn't do it for you.
This doesn't do it for me.
You like live action pornography. Mm-hmm. And it's even better when a pornography is being filmed right in front of you.
It's really better when it's being filmed with you in it.
With you being the star of it. All right, unpause. It starred The Office's Melora Hardin.
Yes, that was the girlfriend.
Michael Scott's girlfriend for a little while. Yes. She is attractive on The Office. To me, again, I think we spoke about this recently. A woman's hair makes it or breaks it for me, and this hair was Kid and Play-esque. It just went up. It was short. It was, I don't know.
It was short. That was the style in the early 90s. It was a lot of neck, and it was it kind of feathered to one side, and it kind of the back of it was kind of like a wall.
I just felt like it went up, like Kid and Play.
I thought she looked beautiful.
She's an attractive woman, but oh man, the hair just really.
I would have showed her my donut. Oh, sorry. I would have showed her my donut.
Long John and the Donut Hole. That was a great song on the show.
Yeah.
Melora Hardin also, I think notoriously, they cut out. Oh shit! What's that guy's name?
The nude scene.
The nude scene. No. Who? Eric Stoltz from Back to the Future. Remember? Have you heard of that? How they filmed most of Back to the Future. Not with Michael J. Fox, but with Eric Stoltz. She was the girl that they filmed a lot of it with, and they cut Melora Hardin out of that, too.
Horrible. And then she did shows like Hot Chicks.
I don't know what that is. Are you looking at her IMDb?
Yeah. What's Rob Schneider, Hot Chicks? Where he...
Oh, she was in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. The pilot was filmed on location in an actual mini mall at the corner of Vineland Avenue and Burbank Boulevard in North Hollywood, California.
Yeah, at the beginning, and the theme comes in. Like there's like a cardboard town, and it's like the plaza is all made of cardboard. Like and they have the weird is the green screen heads. That's the part that really kind of.
And honestly, the interesting facts is over.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I have no more interesting facts. Let's go right into the show.
Sorry.
That's it.
We got little intros to do for it and everything. I'm sorry.
We don't. Not for it. No.
Okay.
Nope. Just go right into it. It's been a couple weeks since we've done a show.
It's been a while.
It has been one while.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just excited to talk about it.
No, and you know what? And first of all, the show starts and it has that swirling a CBS presentation thing. I love those. Yeah. I miss them. I love that intro, that old intro. But it really should have like a little asterisk by it saying, "Hey, this." I mean, we're presenting this. Sure. It's not very good, but we're presenting it.
Right. It's a fact.
It's a fact that is being presented by CBS, but we're not saying it's good.
Right.
The opening, like he said, reminded me of the opening to Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Because it had it was like a model that they had made or something. Like you said, cardboard.
Stop animation with cardboard.
Yep, I said very Pee-wee Herman-esque. I thought the beginning was awesome, right? Did you like that or not?
I liked it. The green screen heads, like, they didn't trim around them very well. I don't know.
Now thinking back, because I only watched it once, they said the intro song was sung by all 9 of the cast members, 7 of only of 7 that appeared in the show. Were there any heads singing the song in the beginning that didn't make it?
I don't think so.
Wasn't there a little boy singing, though, in the beginning? Like a little boy, the same age as the little girl?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if there were heads there, that were singing that just weren't on that actual show. But they're making donuts. They had just all this crazy crap was happening.
Sure, it was giving you a synopsis of the whole plaza.
Sure. Sometimes they don't have any words in their songs, but this was a fully fledged out opening.
Shangri-La, it's paradise.
It is.
That's what they said.
Do you remember? Do you want to sing some of it or not?
That's all I know.
Okay.
Do you remember any more?
I do not.
And it was like. When you sent me the blue link, that's pretty much all you do. You just send me the blue links and say,
"Suck on this.
This is this one, and this is the next one."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, this is a musical." About a minute and a half into it, I was like, "Oh, okay, we're going to sing." Okay.
One of the last things I actually do for this show is watch the show. I do a lot of prep work before. And so I knew it was a musical going in, but these are cut and dry for you. You go in completely blind to these.
I go in completely blind. It's like I just stick my penis in the glory hole and see what happens.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better simile than that. Perfect. It comes in on the plaza, which is weird. It says it's on the corner of Vineland and Burbank Boulevard, which is interesting because you could go to like Google Maps right now. Because I've never been to North Hollywood, California. Right. I could go to that corner and see this set potentially, unless it's been torn down.
Sure.
I mean, it wasn't a set; they said it was an actual.
Right. They probably took a picture of that plaza that was already there, and then just made the things
for the opening.
Sure.
Yeah, I would love to go like Google Street that and take a look at it, though. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. The story opens at Bondo Brothers Tune-Up, the auto place. It's a small plaza. It's a pretty small plaza. Yeah, it's a little L-shaped plaza.
Yeah, the brothers, the machine shop is kind of like a quick lube. It's like a quick lube.
Yeah.
It's really small. pink.
Yeah, everything is. They even say at one point like retro American kitsch, and it's kind of a big, like black and white checkered floors. Yeah. It's got big pink. Yeah, it's very kitsch, I would say. One of the first things I noticed too, because a lot of times you have an intro and then that kind of you got like 3 or 4 seconds of the intro fading out while the show's actually starting. That didn't happen here. Jazzy saxophone music played under while they were talking,
right? Like
just kind of prepping them for the song that was about to ensue. And the first song we hear is Mercedes and Ladies. They start singing their dialogue to each other, and the long-haired kind of macho Ira, I think is his name, Ira.
Yeah.
They pull out like a red bra. He had been joyriding with a woman in a car that belonged to one of their customers.
Right. They were fixing this Mercedes, and then Georgie's like pulls it out and is like, "Wait a minute, Ira, what are you doing, fucking girls in this car?" And then he just pulls out the bra, and Ira's like, "You gotta do it when you can. You gotta impress the ladies with the Mercedes. Impress the ladies with the Mercedes."
Pretty good. I like that. And he says, "Hey, you know what, Ira? You gotta wait for the right girl." And then one of the lines I wrote down, it says, "You're gonna wait until it falls off." That's what he says to his brother, who's just like the straight laced guy.
Right.
You're gonna wait until it falls off. Kind of like your dog's tail.
And if I was Georgie, I would have said, "Listen, Ira, I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off yet from all the STDs.
Due to disease, yeah.
You probably got AIDS. Eventually, I bet Ira got AIDS."
And you know what? I think they took his AIDS and they tracked it back to a gay chimp in 1959.
Exactly.
God bless him.
Got the rolled up jeans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tight roll those mothers, man. Jan from the office comes in. She's, again, I guess cannot put too fine a point on it. She's got terrible hair. I likened it to like not only Kid and Play, but like when you go into a department store in the 80s and they had those real kind of sleek, posh mannequins, how their hair just kind of their hair was built into the mannequin, That's what it looked like to me.
It was also, it looks a lot like every box of hair coloring in the universe. If you either have the girl on the cover that shows the color of their hair, either has really long hair or really short hair.
Yeah,
and it's the vintage short hair.
I
loved it.
The most '90s thing I've ever seen in my life.
I love a girl's neck. I would rather see a girl's neck than her have long hair.
Well, I mean, you're living the dream essentially. I think Molly, your wife.
Oh, I refuse to let her cut it. I refuse to let her let it get long. I hit her.
Was that? Oh, gee.
When it gets to a certain length, I'm like.
Was that a prenuptial agreement? Mm-hmm. Keep that hair short, girl.
Keep it short on the top, keep it going on the bottom.
Does she moisturize her neck? Because it's exposed to the sun a lot more than a normal woman's hair would be.
I always make sure there's plenty of sunscreen when we're out camping.
You give it the old rub down?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So Jan from the office arrives, and what's her name? Amy? Is that right?
Yeah.
She shows up, and then she goes to a coffee shop that is owned by her ex-husband, who is dead.
Yeah, it's Amy Copeland.
That might be
Amy
right.
Copeland. And it's real weird. She walks in, and it's super, super quiet. And to set the scene, it's like a round coffee shop.
Yeah, like in the middle, there's a round counter, and everyone's sitting around it, staring at their coffee cup. And everyone's quiet and just like looks dead in the face.
And it's like... That's all it is.
Yeah. And then this sassy black waitress.
Oh, hell yeah.
She starts pouring all the coffee.
Just it's not even, it's like spilling out of the cups. She just...
Yeah, she doesn't care.
She's going with the beat. She's like... Psh, psh,
she's trying to pour in time.
Yep. Which you never do. I mean, that's the first thing they teach you when you go to Juilliard. You don't pour on time.
I say these are insights I don't know about.
Hey, it's an interesting fact.
That's interesting.
Remember the dog tail thing?
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
You do? Yeah, you're right. Now that you've been proven right once, I can never question you again. Uh-oh. You're right to do that. You're right to just smack the microphone.
I meant to like go, yeah, but I hit the thing.
You're right to do so. Outside, there are street tough Mexicans, and they start dancing for Amy's 6-year-old kid, and one of them is in crutches.
Were they all black? I think
there's two Mexicans and one black dude. I think.
Yeah, the black dude had crutches, and there was this two. No, he was the Mexican kid.
The tiny Mexican kid had crutches, and the
other
other
two were kind of black, like not like black, like I can't see you in the dark.
Right.
They were just like, hey,
Redbone.
Okay, yeah, and It was weird that Amy's like, she pulls in the driveway, and her daughter gets out, and her daughter's like, it's a wonderful day.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful day. And she's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the video store, Mom. And she's like, be back at the donut shop in 20 minutes. You don't take you're in California.
Yeah.
In a shopping plaza.
Right.
Take your 6-year-old kid and say, go to the video store and just make sure you're back later. What?
You got street toughs walking around.
Yeah.
You gonna let street toughs around your daughter? Apparently so. At this point, the songs don't even rhyme anymore. I think we briefly mentioned that earlier. But it's just dialogue. And I think the hallmark of good, crappy singing is like to at least make them rhyme.
Right.
And they weren't even doing that. They were just saying dialogue.
Right. The rap was a little, they had a cute little dance that they did.
Oh, in front of that girl?
Yeah. And I was like, the little girl's just standing in front of the video store waiting for it to open. Mm-hmm. And then these kids come up behind her and like, hey.
You know what poster she's looking at? She's looking at like the Halloween poster.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the most recent Michael Myers. Like she's standing right in front of that horrific mask that he wears.
I thought she was going to be like the girl from Poltergeist.
They're
she was
here?
going to get sucked into that poster or something.
Boy.
That would have been cool.
I would see that Halloween movie. Yeah, those Mexican dudes, they're like popping and locking, doing sweet hip hop moves.
And I was like, they're going to fight this girl. Like they're going these California, Santa Ana, California guys are going to beat the crap out of this little blonde girl because why? Her mom was negligent.
Yep, and you know what? They got to protect their turf. You know what?
That's true.
They don't want to come off as soft. If you got to beat up a 6-year-old, you got to do what you got to do.
Kind of like Walking Dead. You got to take that baseball bat with barbed wire around it and just go and just beat the shit out of somebody.
R.I.P. Mystery Cast member. All right, the kid makes her way next door to the car garage and seems to know a lot about cars.
Right. It was. They're like, "Hey, little girl, be careful. Don't come into the garage. You don't want to get your outfit dirty." And and they're like working on something, and she like, while she's singing, of course, this is all being sung, and you see her head. Like the camera's like underneath
It's the engine. And it's looking out through the hood.
And she like pops her head up. She's like, use the 3/4 wrench to pull
the fan belt through. Yeah. And all I could think during this part was like, that must have been a real son of a bitch to get her to say those lines. Like that. I bet that would be hard for a kid to like say those lines. Maybe I'm off base.
I think you're off base because she was born in Germany. Interesting fact. She moved to California with her parents when she was 2.
Look at you.
And she started acting when she was 4.
How do you know this? How much research are you doing now?
Hey, buddy, I do a little research myself.
Do you really? Why do I do any then?
Because I'm just kind of like a filler.
Yeah.
There's information that we need to have to do the show, and I'm just
okay. Well, I'm
the cool kid. You know what I mean? I'm like the cool kid that comes in and goes, hey.
Yeah, you're the cool kid who looks up specific information on 6-year-old actresses.
Exactly. That's why I did it. I went to her IMDb page because I wanted to see what she looks like now.
Oh no. And how does she look?
Not bad.
Okay, I'm going to guess she's probably 30, my age, 34, sure. 36, somewhere in there. Yeah. I'm getting a little worried that maybe I'm not doing enough work, and you feel like you have to do some
You're
work.
doing plenty of work. I just want to,
contribute.
I want to show what I got.
Okay,
her name is Allison Mack.
Let's do this. After the show, we'll talk about the work that you want me to do, and then I'll talk to you about your molestation.
Okay.
We'll do 2 birds here.
We'll kill. And you know what? We might just circle around to the same point.
Yeah, who knows where those roads will converge. Jan from the office comes out. She finds her daughter at the garage with both brothers are completely smitten.
Oh yes, Ira and Georgie both are like, oh my god, she is beautiful.
What a knockout! I love, and I'm sure George is thinking, look at that hair.
Yeah.
It's exactly like my hair. I love that hair because I have that hair.
It's funny, like, hey, she's like, where's your dad? And she's like, oh, my dad's dead. The little girl's like, oh, my dad's dead. Like, it didn't phase her at all. She wasn't upset about it. She's just like, yeah, he's dead. He, took off on me and Mom a couple years ago.
Yep. And then she comes out and realizes, oh, I got a kid outside, probably being harassed by street toughs. Let me go reel in my kid, lasso her in here. So she's bringing her in, and she's singing her name.
Oh yeah, Jenny. Jenny.
The siren song to her kid.
Jenny.
They should have just played 8675309 right there. You know what I mean?
Got it. Got it.
Very well done. And then after she notices that the kid's over there by the garage, then she starts singing the word sorry. This is awful. I hate this. This is where I pressed on the Apple TV remote pause just to see how much time I have left.
I just run my cursor over the bottom.
Ugh. And as she apologizes and she's taking the kid back to the donut hole, which is the name of the place. And while she is walking away, the brothers are both singing their feelings about it. They're in separate parts of the shop. I think one's inside, one's out, and they're both singing their feelings about this girl. And Amy is walking away very slowly. She's walking away so slowly that they have the time to sing an entire song. And every time they cut to her, she's looking back over her shoulder at them. Right. Did you notice this?
Yes, it was very dramatic.
It was awful.
But, of course, Ira's like, you're the only girl that I'm willing to stop doing other stuff with girls with because you're so awesome. And then George is like, I want to make you my bride, my virgin queen, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you really did dig into these lyrics, didn't you?
Oh, I loved it. Molly came down the stairs, and she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm watching a musical about a shopping plaza.
Because you're secure in your manhood.
Oh, yeah.
First of all...
since I stopped watching Glee, yes.
Yeah. Once he turned off Glee and Fox thankfully canceled that show, the heterosexual rate in this country has skyrocketed.
Exactly. It made my wife happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I think they cut to commercial at this point, and then when they come back, the street tough kids
are narrating the show.
Now they're narrators, and the little girl had an interaction with them, but I think that's the only person they had an interaction with. They're almost like these kind of floating narrators.
Right, they're just like, we have to tie in everything together.
That's right.
Okay, we got to go from one scene to the next. Rapping crutches, kid.
And they're dancing again. Just super sweet hip hop moves.
I wouldn't say super sweet. I mean, I was a breakdancer in my day.
Hold on a second. You have lived an incredible life,
Jason. If you only knew.
Apparently so.
I have so much I could tell you. Someday, write this down. Someday, I'll tell you the story about how I almost died by falling into a frozen lake.
Sunday, you'll tell me. On Sunday? What, this Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday. My wife doesn't even know that story. You know why? Because she's never asked.
So you grew up on the tough streets of Hoffman Estates.
Yep, and that's
breakdancing.
Yep, we took cardboard to school.
Now, if you had your choice between cardboard and linoleum, like a nice linoleum, what do you choose? Still cardboard?
It's still cardboard because the linoleum was curled up when you unrolled it.
That's right, and I feel like it'd be heavier and more cumbersome to take around. Wow. Yeah. Do you have any video? Maybe of you doing some breakdancing? No. Can you still do any?
Oh, not very much.
Do you have an innie or an outie belly button?
It's an innie.
Okay. Maybe if you had an outie, I don't know if that could be like a pivot point where you could spin on your stomach.
No, I could never do that. But breaking 1 and 2 changed my life.
What about electric boogaloo?
Oh yeah, an electric boogaloo. Fact check that. That's right.
So they go back into the donut hole, and the mom tells the kid that her dad is dead and did not go to heaven.
Right.
Plus, he's a 40-year-old plus black dude. Right?
No, the dad.
Yeah.
No, he was like a Mexican.
He's a Mexican.
Yeah.
Maybe the version I saw, or maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell his ethnicity.
I could tell.
Okay, but he's definitely older than her, and he's in hell.
Right.
And he's got a huge, like a caterpillar mustache.
Right, and then the little girl goes back into the back. Where they make the donuts, and the sassy black lady is making the donuts, and they start singing the song, "How You Make the Donuts, Ho," is what it sounded like. Throughout the song, I thought they were saying, "How you make the donut, ho?" I was like, "That's weird."
How do you? But I mean, you don't. I guess you do create the donut hole by creating the space around it. You know what I mean? No.
I get. I don't want to get that deep.
The dough in the donuts, I think, was the name of the song. Okay. The dough, because at this point, the little girl is hanging out with the sassy black woman. She's kind of showing her the ropes in the back kitchen area. Really disgusting ropes.
Oh yeah, there's a fly in the dough.
There's hair.
And there's hair in the donuts. Just
And do you know what to do if there's something wrong with the donut, like a fly or hair in it? Do you know what to do?
Just dip it in chocolate.
Icing hides a multitude of sins. Is the line.
And if you think about it, you think, oh, that's ridiculous.
That's awful.
But close your eyes and repeat that line. You can open them to look at it again. If you need to.
Icing hides a multitude of sins.
It does.
Yeah, I think if nothing else, Shangri-La Plaza gives us a peek behind the curtain of what happens every day in American restaurants across this great land.
Definitely.
I think if we really knew what happened in our favorite restaurants, we'd probably vomit. But that's okay, because we don't know, and we consume these products.
We choose not to know.
Yeah, exactly. They say we eat, a couple pounds of rat feces every year, and we don't even know it.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
That's what keeps us healthy. Keeps us lean. So, the sassy black lady singing Dough in the Donuts, hairs and flies in the donuts is disgusting. And meanwhile, both of the brothers are outside getting ready to impress Amy.
Yep, they're going to start their wooing process.
That's right.
They're going to, what do they call that?
Courting.
Courting.
Mm-hmm. Long hair do care. He's wearing a nice shirt.
Yeah, he put a nice shirt on.
Georgie's he's trying to figure out, what flowers?
Yeah.
What flowers do I get?
Daffodils are too
pushy.
Roses are too cliche. If I'm gonna give you some daffodils,
I'm gonna do it today. So they both show up.
They come around the corner. They each come from one side of the donut shop to the front door, and they get to the front door and they do the whole thing where
what are you doing
kind
here?
of bump into each other.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Whoa. And this is really where I noticed, because George and Amy were standing right next to each other. I was like, oh yeah, they have the exact same haircut.
Yeah.
They really, truly do.
And that means you're a match made in heaven.
Every girl I've ever dated has had the same haircut as me.
Exactly.
And every girl I've ever dated has been a match made in heaven for me. Can you imagine when they have a baby? And do you think it would be born with that haircut?
Oh, of course.
That haircut gene is so strong.
They would have had to cut Jenny's hair. If they would have got married, they would have had to cut Jenny's hair because it was long and that platinum blonde that every little girl has.
Oh yeah. And another reason she looked like the girl from the Poltergeist too. Good pull. Jan reveals to the guys that she is selling the donut business and selling all the assets off because she doesn't want anything to do with it. The ex-husband, she's got all these kind of negative memories of him, and then she's taking all the money and she's moving to Paris with her daughter.
Right. Yeah, she's like, don't get to liking me too much. I know you think I'm sexy, but I'm moving to Paris to become a chef.
That's right. Wow. I am so impressed. All right, what do you do to warm up your voice?
Well, today I did a lot of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da.
Whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm not going to give you any advice. I will definitely take advice from you. But whatever you're doing, keep it up. It's working. It is working.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You know what? Hearing positive things from you gets me through the day.
It's not waking up to do this show. It's positive things from me.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, both the brothers are like, oh man, and the token black lady is standing behind. She's like, oh, great. So she walks out of the back of the store like, I need to find a new job, just like every job before. The man is gonna let me go on the unemployment line. Ow!
Great.
Thank
Great
you.
stuff. This is the sad song.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming down right now.
This is she initiates it.
Yeah.
The blues always initiate sadness.
Yep.
And she's like, because maybe when I sang it, I gave it a little too much pep.
A little upbeat. That's
Yeah,
okay.
It was a little too Diana Ross.
Your spin on a classic.
Sure. It should have been more like Otis Redding.
Yeah. Probably so. She comes out singing, "Hey, I'm not gonna have a job." The brothers are hands in their head in their hands, saying, "Hey, this girl we're in love with, she's going away."
Because they start singing too. They it's the same music, but different words,
different areas. They're singing about their own problems, and meanwhile, Amy's in there getting bad news about the restaurant or the donut hole rather that it's not worth anything.
No, there's literally no assets. There's a check for $715. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, when the lawyer comes in, there's this shady ethnic fellow comes in behind, He's got the big
For my money, all ethnic people are shady.
Saturday Night Live suit, Saturday Night Fever, suit,
Dressed to the nines.
and he's standing behind. The lawyer's like, "Here, all you got." Your ex-husband, basically is just in debt. He's just in the red. And
That's right.
He's in debt. You're in the red, but here's $715.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but that shady ethnic guy immediately takes it and says, "Hey, this is your rent money, so I'm going to go ahead and take this from you." And now she joins them and starts singing the blues too.
Yeah. I can't leave for Paris because I got no money because of my shady ex-husband.
I think the name of that song was "Ain't It Always the Way."
Ain't it always? Yes, that is.
Ain't it?
Ain't it? It ain't isn't a word because it ain't in the dictionary.
Anus the always the way.
Yes.
She finds out the donut hole's worth nothing, so they just all start. They're all sad.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go.
I was just gonna say. Then a man comes into the donut shop and asks for coffee.
Yep.
And then Amy, there's no one there. The black woman's out back taking her mandated union 15-minute break. And Amy's by herself in the coffee shop, and she kind of looks around, and there's no one in there except this guy who's looking very doe-eyed. He's like, "Hey, lady, I got to get my Java fix.
I just need some Java.
Give me that sweet, sweet Java."
This is way before Starbucks. Mm-hmm. This is you went to the donut hole was the place in town to get good coffee.
Absolutely,
that gritty World War II kind of coffee.
That's right. The kind where at the end you're looking at the bottom. That's you got all the grains down, all the little grounds down there.
You're like, I can own this day now.
That's right. And so she's looking around. There's no one in there to pour the coffee. And it's even before she starts looking around, it's kind of like, this is the moment. This is a big decision right now. It's in the scheme of things, it's very tiny, but it mirrors something much bigger in her life. So she picks up the coffee and she pours it. And at that moment, the little girl in the back sees it, and she says, "That's it. We're staying. Your mom's pouring coffee. We're not going to Paris. This place is worth nothing.
Let's do this.
This is our only option right now. We are staying in the donut hole."
Yep, and she goes out and she's like, "We're staying!"
And everyone goes nuts. They love it.
Scene.
And then the credits. It's a good idea. It's like a musical. It's like a play. The credits has a big curtain around the screen, and then all the cast members are standing in a line, like taking the bows at the end of the show.
They wanted to make it. I mean, that give you that musical kind of feel to it.
Sure. It's like, hey, guess what? We just put on a 22-minute play for you. Hey, hope you enjoyed it. I did not. But you know what I do enjoy? I do enjoy my good friend Shannon from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
That's right. In his show, S&M Radio. So let's hear a little bit about that right now.
Step right up, step right up. Are you a fan of the macabre? Do you enjoy blood and guts? Does gore get you excited? Is getting scared your thing? Do you like horror movies? Boy, oh boy, do we have the right show for you. S&M Radio is the best horror movie podcast on the web. Shannon and Mark discuss a different horror movie topic each episode. Some episodes are about specific horror movies. Some episodes are about folks involved with horror movies, while others are about top 10 lists of horror movie topics. All with great music from all genres. I should warn you right away, spoiler alert, those two yahoos pretty much give away everything every time. Come one, come all, down to S&M Radio, where nothing is too taboo.
Come one, come all.
I like that show, but my favorite part about that show is anytime when Big E is around, he'll be like, anytime someone mentions S&M Radio, Big E will just automatically say, "Are you a fan of the macabre?" I love it when he says that. I crack up every time. Hey, shout out Big E. Find that on FCFnetwork.com. There's a whole bunch of shows there, and it's all for free.
All free.
I used to get real mixed up, and I'd be like, man, you know what? You go to FCFnetwork.com, you pay $35 a month. Awesome. All these great shows. But it's not even that. It's all free.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that in my head. I think I'm just so used to paying a premium for a premium product.
Exactly. Like, did you take those boots back?
I did.
God. Jason.
I bought... Oh, okay. Oh, hold on a second. I went to the Buckle. Did I tell the story on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know. I think I just got caught up in like, oh, I'm in a cool place. I feel cool. But I was like, I shouldn't be there. I am 10 years plus older than anyone else that should be in this store. I took them back, but it's okay because I bought 3 pairs of shoes for less than that amount that I spent on the one from Skechers.com, which I'm going to return those two actually because I need to get the wide version because I got big fat wide feet. Anyway, I did take them back, but I'm getting shoes. Okay. I am getting new shoes.
You're going to get a product eventually?
I am paying a premium for a premium product.
Okay, all right.
And you can get a premium product too, but you won't have to pay a premium for it.
You won't even have to say, punch in or drive back to the mall and say, hey, I want my money back. You won't even say that.
You can just pick up your stupid phone and then download an app and then hit subscribe. Tell your friends about it too. You know what? I talk to my friends about podcasts. We listen to some, especially you two. We overlap on some of the podcasts we listen to. It's a topic of conversation. Sure. Tell your friends about our show. Have conversations about them. Sure. Maybe get together once a week and watch these stupid shows that we watch.
Oh, yeah, have a party.
It's fun.
Have a Couch Pilots party.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, we'll fund it.
We will. First of all, send us the bill.
Exactly.
Second of all, we had a Couch Pilots party here when Heather and Adam Z during the marathon, they watched, was it the Coneheads, right?
Yeah, Cindy and Doug.
Cindy and Doug. Wow, how do you remember that? They watched it while we were here. They had a great time.
Yeah.
And who flipped the bill?
We did.
Absolutely. We flipped that bill. Anyway, let's talk about why Shangri-La Plaza did not work.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence time. It's going to be a little rocky
Things
in here.
get a little rough. You can put that safety belt on, you know.
Yep. Molly has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. All of the frequent flyers that are back there, they're buckled in for safety.
That's right. This is part of the show where we say, hey, they only made one episode of this. Essentially, it was 26 years ago that this came on television. Why didn't it work? Why I tell you why it didn't work is because coming up with a musical every week is extremely ballsy thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? After a while, it all just sounds the same. All the songs...
Glee. All the songs sounded the same.
Did they? I can't vouch for that, but you say yes? Mm-hmm. And you only watched a few episodes.
Right,
and it
right.
bled
I
together.
didn't watch 5 seasons of it.
Oh, man. I can't imagine even picking this up for one full season. There was... People want real-life drama. And I think, you have two brothers who like a girl, and they have this kind of cool setting in California. Sure. It makes sense, but singing it week after week, it's really going to wear.
And like I said, having a musical on a television is a lot different than having it in real life.
Yeah, you do not get that electric, emotional feling when you're in the same room with these people.
You're not consumed by it. The big stage and the big staging.
All the props, all the scenery.
Yep.
Yeah. You really get swept in that way. But here, I don't know. The singing just seems... It's like... I don't know how the Avengers get away with it. But if you look at the Avengers, the movies that are coming, that are out, and you see their outfits, they're pretty close to what's in the comics.
Sure.
And that, to me, takes me out of it a little bit. I like the X-Men movies, where they're not wearing the lavish, bright, bold colors that they're wearing in the comics. They're wearing kind of like these leather jumpsuits, something that would make a little bit more sense.
Modernize it.
Right. They modernize it. To me, if I saw Hugh Jackman in yellow tights, that would totally take me out of the show or the movie. And when you're singing all of your dialogue, that takes me out of the show. So for me, it is all about the choice to make this a musical. Could it be done well? Maybe. I would like to see something like that, and maybe Glee is that. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, Glee was even more. It was so high school-y. You know what I mean? It was like Saved by the Bell, but musical.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: past couple of years, a trending thing on television has been, hey, let's do a live production, a musical. I think they did Gone with the Wind. They did The Wiz, right? Not Gone with the Wind. Shit, I can't remember. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
Did you watch any of those? Did any of those... Grease, I think they did, right?
It was, yeah.
And there was one a couple before that. But anyway, have you watched that?
No, I have not watched this.
I think Peter Pan
They just did one about Jesus, too.
Oh, yeah. The on Easter, it was Tyler Perry, right? Yeah. They blended real-life concert stuff with pre-shot footage.
Yep. Seal narrated it.
Oh, Seal did?
Uh-huh.
Love
His
Seal.
His face is jacked up.
What happened to Seal's face?
He got burned, I think.
Hashtag Seal's face.
Hashtag Seal's face. Who was his wife?
He was married to, was it Giselle?
Yeah. How is that possible? His face is jacked up. Hey, me and you, we have beautiful faces.
Or, a couple of beautiful men.
Me and you are beautiful men.
Sure, absolutely.
And I've got a beautiful wife. But you don't see Beyonce coming to my door. But if I had a burned up, scarred up face, like Seal, she'd be knocking on my door? I don't think so.
And we already heard you sing earlier, so we know you can sing as well as Seal can.
A kiss from a rose on the grave. Hi, you can shake your booty right out of the kitchen.
Boy, what a great song, sung by a beautiful man.
Thank you.
Seal's a good-looking dude. He's trim, good singer. He's got some success. But yeah, it looks like someone took a cheese grater about his face. And you know what? I'm not making fun of him. I don't know what happened to him, but God bless him. And he was nailing that girl for a long time. I think they had a couple kids together, right?
Hey, good on her.
She looks incredible.
Well,
she's 70.
The stewardess is in the room. I really can't tell.
Oh, as a man, as a single man, I could say Giselle looks good at her advanced age, right?
Better than Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, she looks like a plastic Barbie doll. Mm-hmm. God bless her.
Barbie doll, it's a Barbie world.
Hey, no one asked for that. What else? If this show continued on, what would you like to see it have done?
Oh, I want to find out about the video store owner who's probably...
They teased that, didn't they?
Yeah. That was one of those things like, hey, you know...
There was like 2 outside shots of the video store. I was like, okay, we're going to get in the video store. Yeah. Let's see what's going on there.
Yeah.
No.
I want to find out what kind of legal trouble those kids are going to get into.
Oh, surely they will.
I want to find out, is the kid's a leg going to heal up?
I hope not.
And there's got to be a salon. Get some black ladies.
Get your nails did?
Yeah, and that's your
your complete ethnic diversity.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I foresaw happening.
I think there was a little kid, because I think there was a little boy's head bopping around in the beginning, and then I think there's probably another girl, because we had another girl, another guy, I don't know, but the guy, someone ran the video store, and then there's a little kid maybe with that guy, and those are the 2 people of the 9 cast that we did not see in the pilot, but they were teasing the hell out of that.
Oh yeah,
and I wanted to see exactly who was running that video store. We didn't, and we'll never know.
I used to work at a video store.
Oh yeah, me too. Which one did you work at?
American Video. It was in East Peoria. It was independent.
Where in East Peoria?
On Meadows, where the Shell gas station is.
Okay, that little plaza there. Your very own little Shangri-La Plaza.
Very much so.
I worked at a Shangri-La Plaza myself at a video store called Video Express. And it was run by a crazy man.
Aren't they all?
I guess if you are a mom and pop owner of a video store, you are a crazy person. Agreed?
Mostly nowadays, because there's Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, who needs them? Go home.
Go home, Blockbuster Video. The only reason family video is still out there is because they have pornography.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
That's a great point, Captain Rest Assure. I've maybe once. I can't really think of a time that I've ever rented pornography.
Many times.
Have you really?
Mm-hmm.
You've rented it?
Mm-hmm.
What are your feelings when you walk up to the counter and you have to look at that person and they have to look at you and they have to type in whatever it is they type?
But it doesn't bother me because it's not like it's not like I'm taking the cover up there. You know, I'm taking the plastic box.
Sure, but they still know what's in it.
Sure, but they're professionals. I mean,
are they?
Think about it. They're professionals. They've been through the mill.
Okay, so you have no shame when you do it.
Nope, no shame in my game.
Why do you? Okay, do you rent it any? When's the last time you rented pornography?
Oh, I mean, I haven't had a VCR in years.
Oh, we're talking VCRs because they were out on DVD and Blu-ray.
No, I was straight DVD. If you want to see good vintage porn, you look it on VHS.
If you really want that gritty feeling from A to Z, I would agree.
Like 8mm.
Yeah, reel to reel, right? We have to sync up the sound with the moaning.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of all the sloshing sounds. Anyway, I don't think I've ever rented pornography. I have bought and I've purchased some, but it's mainly just on the computer. I can't imagine paying for pornography. Everything is so cheap anymore, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but you can't beat a VHS porn.
Okay, I remember way back in high school, we were at this girl's house, and she was telling me that her dad had a VHS porn. And we went and we found it. It was like in his tool chest, and we were watching it. It was an 80s porn. It was totally wild, just wild hair, just everywhere, up top, down below, everywhere. All the hair was wild.
Mustaches.
You can't beat that. You're right. I agree with you. You can't beat that. Let's stop talking about vintage pornography.
There was no such thing as POV back then.
No. Just P and V.
See, here's the thing. Kids nowadays, these millennials, that was good. Kids nowadays, these millennials, when they watch pornography. They don't even know. They don't even know what it's really like.
It's like 150 years ago when they're like, you know what? Now they got these newfangled vehicles. I used to have to walk miles.
Yeah.
People don't know that anymore. They're driving their cars around. And now ours is pornography. Kids used to have to go in the woods and lift up an old rotting log to find their pornography.
Hey, I got sent home from school one time because I had found porno magazines on my way to school, and I took them into the school with me.
It was outside on the corner or something. I remember you saying that. To me, I would stash that and then pick it up on the way back. Because you bring it to school. It's like bringing
There was no way to stash it. There was nowhere to stash it. I had it in my cubby. Who's going to look at my cubby?
Someone did, apparently.
Yeah.
How was it found?
A little girl told on me with the cubby next to me. That's why girls should be seen and not heard.
Oh, I mean, yeah, don't get me started on that. What was that? Does that wrap it up? Like, wrap this thing up? Okay, fine. Critic reviews. Rhymes so bad, it makes us sad. Los Angeles Daily News, July 30th, 1990. Upbeat cast makes Shangri-La a treat. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, July 30th, 1990. I don't know why these people would comment on something they knew was going into the rubbish bin. I don't know. Viewer reviews. Would have been fun as a series. 9 out of 10 scars.
Wow. That's somebody who likes Glee.
This is the person who wrote that his name is Dizong, and he's from Seoul, which is an Asian place full of China.
They like that kind of stuff.
They do love it. I'm the only one, aside from Nick Castle, who remembers this. I don't know who Nick Castle is. I'd love to have him on the show.
Sure. We'll email.
8 out of 10 scars.
Gosh, I don't.
That was Brian Patrick from California. Hey, Brian, big shout out to you.
Hey, Brian Patrick, come on down.
Brian Patrick, Big E, big shout out to both of you.
Got a special surprise prize coming to you.
Got some surprise prizes coming for you. You're not the only one who remembers this. 8 out of 10 scars. Those are all on IMDb. First, I'm going to go to the Rotten Tomato score, which is nothing. There's no score there. Not a surprise. IMDb, where all those comments are pulled from?
7.8.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to have you guess.
Oh, I did.
Oh, well, perfect. Nailed it. What are you looking at your computer for? 7.8. There's nothing about this pilot that's like, oh, this is a cult hit. There's someone involved with this show that like has reached some sort of cool status. Other shows that we watch, like, oh, Action Family, cult hero, Chris Elliott, comic cult hero. I am searching this out. I want to like this. I do like it. High score. Nothing about this show says to me, oh, I want to search this out on purpose and give it a 7.8.
Our highest rated episode, Evel Knievel, Sam Elliott. People were like, I love Sam Elliott. I want to watch him as Evel Knievel.
Our episode, our personal episode that people listen to the most?
It's the highest rated episode.
I don't get it. People search out certain things, absolutely. But this does not seem like it would fall under that category. But it did.
It did.
Fine. Whatever. Let's talk about what we think.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
We talked about a lot. Some might say too much.
Oh, it's never too much.
Everyone has had their say. We told you what's out there. We talked about the facts. Now we get to decide, what do we rate this? The scale is 1, which is a Roy Biggins. All these numbers are aligned with characters from the classic 90s television show Wings. Number 1 is a Roy Biggins because he sucks and is the worst, and it goes all the way to number 7, Brian Hackett, our favorite.
And if you email us at COUCHPILOTSPODCAST@gmail.com, we will send you a Couch Pilots scorecard.
Yep, we'll send you a scorecard. And we'll also, if you get enough points, all of our listeners are our frequent flyers, and if you get enough frequent flyer points, you can get surprise prizes. You can get signed aviator glasses.
And I just got a new shipment. of them
because we ran out.
Huh?
Yep, nice. Get them out there. People want to have their views obstructed by our signatures. A lot of great prizes out there. Most of them surprises for you, but listen to the show. Get those points. Send us suggestions. All that stuff adds up.
Sure.
I look to you, Blake. How do you rate Shangri-La Plaza?
I've thought long and hard about this. Wait. Mm-hmm. Do it again. Bring it to me again.
Just start the whole show over?
No, just the part where you ask me.
Shangri-La Plaza. Blake, What do you rate this show?
Jason, I'm gonna have to give you my rating. Give you my rating.
Give me your rating.
Shangri-La Plaza. I'm gonna give it a 4. I enjoyed it.
All right, you enjoyed it. To me, that's like right down the middle, not good or bad. And I think I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. To me, this is right down the middle. The big, bold, bright settings. Maybe we crapped on it too much. There were some appealing factors. I like the characters for the most part.
Yeah, I had a good time watching it. I mean, I wouldn't watch it again.
No, I wouldn't either. But I would say,
and to be honest with you, I was thinking it was going to be a 5.
Okay.
But then I looked at Jenny's IMDb page.
Not the buxom blonde you hope for?
Blonde, but not buxom.
But it's got to be the 1-2 punch out.
Yeah, it wasn't a punch out. I didn't look at it and go, woo!
Yeah.
I just went, well,
Well, if you get the woo factor, knock it up another point.
What do you give this, Captain Black?
4. That's what I said. I gave it a 4.
Oh.
Remember that? Remember when I said that a minute ago? I'm sticking to it. I gave it a 4.
I didn't remember because you didn't sing it.
Oh.
You can sing the outro. You can sing the outro.
Okay, I will sing. I will sing the outro, the Wings outro. You got it.
No, you're.
Nope. I will sing the outro. I will sing the outro to Wings. You will not turn my mic off while it's going. Shangri-La Plaza. I'm done with that. I don't want any more. No. Hey, no thanks. Second helping. I'll pass. Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Lookwell. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. The former star of a canceled cop TV show solves crimes. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes. Or go to YouTube and search Lookwell and put a little exclamation point on the end. Right? I think that's how the show was.
Kind of like it was. Kind of like Baffled.
Yeah, kind of like Baffled. Put an exclamation point at the end. Boom, you'll find it. You want to contact the show, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
right?
Definitely contact us to get frequent flyer points, aviator glasses, possible flight if you're in the tri-state area, and surprise prizes and aviator glasses signed.
Send us your ideas, suggestions, comments.
Your rating for if you end up watching Shangri-La Plaza.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought.
Send us your rating. Follow us on Twitter, Couch Pilots Pod at Twitter. Follow us there. Email us at couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. Go to FCF Network. Take the FCF Challenge.
Yes.
Listen to all the shows.
And subscribe to us on iTunes.
Absolutely. All that helps. Give us a rating. Tell us we're good or we're not good. Do we have any new comments on there? Probably not.
Nope.
Okay. I'll check later. Maybe we'll mention on the next show. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just... it's cool that we're having different kinds of shows. You know, we've watched cartoons. We've watched...
satires.
Sci-fi. It was our first musical. That's probably why it got such a good score for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that ties into it. Sure, we liked a nice array.
Sure.
Of shows for sure.
But check it out.
Definitely check it out.
And I want to thank you.
Oh, I want to thank you so much.
Every time we have a flight, I feel safe. I feel like we're going to get to where we're going to go.
Right.
And you put a lot of hard work into these flight plans.
Blood, sweat, and also my tears.
I cry all the time.
This pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Good evening.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
Bum 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 bum. This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.